Hi, welcome to Wiseman TV. I'm Thomas Ruffin, and I'm here with the beautiful host of Wiseman TV, the fashion designer, Ayanna O'Brien, with our special guest today, Alex D. Holliman. Ayanna, welcome.
Hi, everyone. How are you this evening? Hope everyone's had a great and blessed day. And as Thomas said, we're here tonight live, straight from Atlanta, well, where he resides now, formerly from Nebraska, I believe, um, but lives in Atlanta now. We have the incredible Alex Holliman joining us on the show tonight. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Good. Very, very good. I'm blessed. Keeping trying to stay corona safe.
I know it's tough.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I want to jump right into this. Um, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Farrier Couture?
Yeah, like with the ER, like Farrier,
Oh,
Farrier.
Farrier Bell.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you come up with that name?
Actually, it was tough because I wanted to use my name, and then like coming up with a brand name that is just kind of like suitable for the kind of garments I wanted to make. My brother, actually, my older brother, helped me come up with that name. It's my great grandmother's middle name and then my grandmother's middle name pushed together. So there is Ruth Farrier Jackson, and then there's Tilly Bell Holliman. So we must push the two middle names together and came up with Farrier Bell.
Oh, nice. I love it. I kept looking at like, okay, I looked at your name because I know most people like try and put their name. I'm like, okay, it's not coming from his name. So where did it come from?
Yeah, and
Nice.
Alexander, and I'm like, it was like no, just pray on it and Lord
I,
we hope.
yeah, I love it. I love it. Um, so I was actually going in and checking out a couple of your upcoming things. Thank you. A couple of your upcoming things. And one of the things that I've seen that you have is called the PBFW Black Excellence Awards.
Mhm.
You've been nominated for. Um, so most innovative designer, like
Yeah.
when you think of innovative designer and just getting that prestige to even be nominated, how do you feel about that?
It's always a blessing. Like I love what I do, and I just feel like I'm honored. Like the people see you working, and sometimes you don't realize it as an artist. You just kind of put the work out. So it's always just a good feeling to know that your work is being appreciated and people kind of taking note for what you're doing and striving. And it's always a blessing and a good feeling to keep you motivated to just keep going.
Mhm.
So um, I'm always honored anytime, I have any opportunities, or being nominated, and there's so many beautiful uh, artists in the category. So some of them are my friends. So I'm excited, I'm excited for what we're doing, and it's like I said, it's a blessing.
Yeah, just to be nominated, and that lets you know that you're making a mark, though.
Yeah.
Someone just told me recently, they was like, and the same question I would propose to you is, where do you see your collection being in the next, say, 5 to 10 years? Like, do you have, is it the sky is the limit? Are you trying to make it to, uh, what do you call it, the Oscar Awards? Like, what, what's your ideal goal for your collection?
I want it to be everywhere. Like I look at it like this might not make sense to a lot of people, but I love formal, special occasion red carpets,
Hmm.
and I want to be that ideal designer, like all red carpets, all events. I don't want to box myself in a box, um, but everywhere you look, I kind of want to see that fairy bell piece everywhere, red carpets, even birthdays. Yeah, I kind of just want to keep putting it out there, and I mean, wherever I can get it at, I want it to be there.
I mean, even this piece here, this yellow piece of yours, like just the dynamics of the dress itself, that's
Yeah,
red carpet, that's Met Gala. Like I could see, uh, what's her name? Cardi B.
yeah.
Instantly, when I look at this, I see Cardi B, you know, and you have so many different designs that I like that just instantly stand out instantly. And it's incredible. You really are putting in that work. You really
Well,
are.
thank you so much. This was actually created for New York Fashion Week, and it was it was actually made the night before the show. I made it the night before the show. Yeah. It
What?
was, yeah. Like this model came in and she had this walk, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have nothing to match this walk that she has. And I said, she has to shut this show down. And I was with a group of my friends, and they all were going out to eat. And I
Hmm.
said, I want to stay here and work on this piece. And literally, when they came back, they were like, you just made this dress? I'm like, yeah. So literally within a day, that's what I came up with. And um, that's what I love about fashion, like fashion shows, because you get to have that. It's a mix. It's like the model, like how can who bring what garment to life.
Hmm.
So she inspired me. Like it was definitely uh, one of my most memorable moments in New York.
Nice. Now this piece here, the purple piece, she's
Yes,
given me uh her eyes, first of all, captivize me. Like
yes.
right away, right away. She's serving that look. Um, this particular dress here, like looking at it, like if I wasn't a fashion designer, but looking at it, it looks like it would be really, well, probably heavy.
It's
Um,
actually light, very light.
very light. So underneath that, is there like a petticoat or anything? Or it's freely,
Um,
like it's a free dress.
it's it's a petticoat underneath.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. That's beautiful.
but
Very, very beautiful.
the fabric was made more like a lace. So
Okay.
and and it's ribboned, but it's on like a mesh material, so it's really light and not heavy like it probably looks.
Yeah. I think I did do one dress last year made out of some fabric like this. And that's what I was seeing. A lot of people's like, oh, can I touch it? Is it heavy? And it's the same. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
very heavy at all. I tend to see when you put the petticoats and stuff like that to bring it out,
that
has a
full
little
net.
bit of weight, but the material itself actually isn't.
Yeah.
Um, So one of the other things I wanted to talk to you about was I see that you have something, I'm not sure if it's something that you do every year, but it's something that's dear to me, and that's the Farrier Ball breast cancer soiree.
Yeah.
So is that something that you do ongoing? Was
Well,
this
my me and my partner, my VP, Corey, we want to do it annually, but of course COVID, so we didn't do it this year. But we do want to make it an annual event every year, give back, Um, but any type of way that we can give back, I kind of want to make sure that um, we do our part. If I can influence 5 people, I'm okay with that. If it's 3 people, 1,000 people, um, just to especially with the brand being a women's brand. I kind of want to make sure that we focus on something that's relatable to women, and um, it was a huge honor. Like I had some survivors that came out and spoke, um, just to uplift them. Give them makeovers and talk about their story to women who kind of feel like it can't happen to them. Um, just to make sure that we use our voice and our platform to help somebody else. That's very important to me.
I totally, totally agree. I participate every year except for this year, as you said, because of COVID.
Yeah.
I've been doing the pink party, breast cancer fashion show. Me, myself, I have lupus. So I actually wanted to start doing a purple party
Right. Okay.
for the lupus. But I certainly agree. Anything that can uplift a woman, and we did the same thing. We did makeovers for the survivors. They came, they got to walk the red carpet, do interviews, and it's just a good feeling.
Yeah,
It's a really, really good feeling.
it
I
is.
love it. Um,
Oh,
I said that November. I know November 7th. You're going to be in Charlotte.
yes.
North Kakalaki, as they call it,
Yeah.
doing a fashion show there. And
Yeah.
it's funny. My whole family recently just moved to North Carolina, to Charlotte.
Oh, really?
So I've been throughout the past couple of months, I've been having to travel from Charlotte, back to Boston. And
Okay.
one of the things that I was telling my sister, she was like, well, you need to do a fashion show here. I said, well, do they do a lot of fashion shows and stuff in Charlotte? And she's like, no, not really. And then she told me like I would say more of the Caribbean women will do fashion shows there, but it's not something like here in Boston or in Atlanta or New York that they do. So when I seen that you were doing a fashion show there, I was like, oh shoot, okay, I'm about to take
Yeah.
that trip.
It's my second time going back to Charlotte. I did a show there last year, and this company actually, Charlotte Scene, they handle the Charlotte Fashion Week, and they're very, very professional, and they produce high quality shows. And it's like, you're going to go down there, you're going to have a good turnout. And so I'm really excited to work with them. Last time I went, it wasn't with them. So this will be my first time actually working with Charlotte Scene. And I'm excited because they always put out good, polished, professional work. So, yeah, it's definitely probably, I'm excited. I've been working my butt off for the new collection for that particular show. So I really can't wait.
So when you do different shows, so say like from Atlanta to Charlotte, or even, February, you got Milan Fashion Week. Do you show a different collection at every show that you do?
Depending on, not always, but what I try to do is, for instance, I'll try to design like a 30-piece collection. So therefore, when I have multiple shows, I can add different looks. Because I don't like, I'm like an artist. So I don't want to get on the runway every time with the same 12 looks. I get bored. So even if it's like one or two looks that's different, that's satisfying to me. So what I'll try to do is I'll over design the collection. So when I have multiple shows, I can kind of show up, and I can remove 5 looks and add 5 new looks that are already made. But then again, it depends on what season it is, like what's coming up. I try not to be an in the moment designer. So if like I'm showcasing in the fall or winter, I want to design for spring.
Mhm.
And so I try to like be ahead, but it's hard when you're like a couture designer, when you make, you don't really have you don't have inventory. You just have like, one of a kind looks. So
Okay.
so sometimes you just have to play it out. You just have to feel, you know, what's your goal, I guess, in that moment.
Do you ever see yourself going with a manufacturer where you do have to, they will produce multiple looks of one thing, or are you more into being the only one, no one ever looked like you?
Yeah.
Um, that's me. So
Yeah, I think women love that. It's a business of its own, but
Mhm.
I do feel like I might have to in the future. I do want to, because um, I want to be like in some of the high end boutiques and stuff like that. So I definitely want to strive to get there, but I do enjoy the one of a kind, because when I get a client, that's how I know the client is like, look, you're coming to me why go look like somebody already had, you want to look this out there. We can create something nobody has. And that's how I sell and get the clientele. And, but business wise, it's easier to do manufacturing and have your stuff out there. So I would probably do both.
Open to both. I know manufacturers tend to be pretty expensive. From what I've seen, I did have an opportunity where someone wanted multiple pieces of something that I had, and he was like, "Oh, you have a manufacturer?" And I'm like, no. And I went home the next day and looked into it, and I swear I was searching for so long, but it's like so expensive. I'm a mom of 6.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, that's just not gonna happen right now.
Was it
I'll stick to the one of a kind?
Yeah. Was it a US manufacturing company?
I actually looked into US, I looked into China, and I actually found one in Dubai.
Yeah. Oh.
Actually. But for me, if I was buying one of your pieces, I wouldn't want anyone else to look like me. Like I think that's what most clients are going for right now. They want to be different. They want to have that special look that no one else has.
Especially when you go into like an event, it's like, prom or any kind of red carpets. The last thing you want to do is show up and somebody is wearing the same dress that you bought. So it's kind of like, that's why I'm like, come look, I could take care of that.
Who's gonna leave? Are you gonna leave? No, I'm not leaving. You must.
Yeah, that's the part. Being that couture side of a designer is, it's beneficial.
And what are your inspirations? Like when you come up, because I see you have the blue collection, like for each show, do you just come up with a different theme for that show, a different color for the show? Like how do you come up with each theme for each show?
Ooh, again, it's always kind of more about like the season, but me, I'll go fabric shopping, and I'd be like, what season are we in? What am I? And I'll kind of pick like 3 fabrics, and I'm a fabric guy, so I can't just take any old fabric and work with it. It has to speak to me, and so that's how I started. Like I'll go to the fabric store and I'll start out with 3 fabrics and literally build the collection around that material. Like how does it blend in? How does it match? And but typically that's how I work. I love fabric shopping, and if I walk in and I see something and my eyes is like, I gotta have that. Sometimes I have an idea like what I'm gonna do with it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I have to have it. It'll speak to me later. So I'm a fabric, hands-on. I gotta touch it and talk to it, stuff like that.
So this piece right here, what can you tell us what fabric she used on it? Because I could see one looks like it might be satin. You have a little bit.
Yeah.
What are the different textures and the different kinds that you have?
So it was actually a sequined rose gold pants I did. So that's actually a sequence.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. Then I did like a blazer jacket, but I gave it like a train. That was satin.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. And a lot of people, when they are putting their clothes together, but even if it's just everyday going to work clothes, you see people tend to want to say, okay, well, I am wearing this black and white cotton shirt. Let me put on some black pants with it and some black shoes. Like I feel designers are starting to, the more fashion shows I go to, what I'm starting to see is that people are coming out of their comfort zone. So they're mixing and matching patterns. They're mixing and matching colors. And the fashion sense of it is finally getting to them.
Yeah.
People are quick to say, oh, okay, so if you got on black shoes, you need a black purse, a black, No. Add
Yeah.
some color, okay? Because you're gonna just blend right into outside,
Yeah.
okay? So definitely add some color to it.
Yeah.
Now, on your new looks for the upcoming shows, being that COVID is around, do you find yourself doing a lot of different designs that you had to add masks to? How do you feel about the mask being a part of the fashion world right now?
Uh, to be, well, I do have some looks that come with the mask. Um, I feel like it's the new norm in a way. It's I'm kind of torn 50-50 with that. Sometimes I like it on the runway, sometimes I really don't. Some looks I feel like it takes away um, from everything. Um, so I'm a little torn with the mask situation because I've seen some looks that I had and I'm like, oh, I'll create a mask to go with it, but then it just kind of pulls everything away, with the design.
Mhm.
But safety first, for everybody. So, whatever we have to do, let's get in when you fit in.
Yeah, I've been finding more and more people that are asking me to design for them. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna have a mask with that, right? Like, sure,
Yeah,
I can make you a mask. I
yeah,
feel like it's the new norm, like you said.
it is.
So they're not going away for any time. And I remember, I'd say back in April, I made a jumpsuit and I made a mask with it. And this one woman here in Boston who's into fashion and stuff, she had wrote on my Facebook post, she was like, let me find out y'all trying to make the mask a fashion statement, right? And now I'm like, okay, so you're eating your words because
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
definitely got to be a fashion
yeah,
statement now. You spoke too soon. Um, but I had foreseen that coming, that the masks were going to be around for a long time, and started adding it into my collections
yeah,
lately. Only a couple, not all of them, but
yeah.
just a couple here and there. I feel like are good.
The mask kind of saved me. Like, prom season was canceled, so I had a lot of cancellations, and it wasn't their fault. Typically, I don't get refunds, but depending on the process where I am with the order, so I took a hit for prom.
Hmm.
But literally, it was kind of like, "Hey, do you make masks?" I'm like, "No, I don't make no masks." But then it was like, you know what? Let me make masks. And
That's
so
right.
went to the website, and then the orders just kept coming in, and I just found myself I couldn't keep up, and
Hmm.
it was so much to the point where I had to like take a break
Yep.
because I'm not used to doing um, the same thing over and over and over,
Hmm.
in the mask. So mentally, it was kind of tough on me because I'm just doing the same thing, day and night,
Yeah.
getting the orders out. But it was a blessing.
It
It was
was.
like it saved me. It was like that's when I was like, yeah, this is the new norm. And people kept saying, quit saying that. And I'm like, listen, people are gonna want masks with the same whatever fabric you use for the dress. They want the
Hmm.
matching mask. So why not incorporate it into your business? It's only a smart business move if you can do it and keep it on the same caliber as your collection. It's a smart move.
Yeah.
So
I say I probably did about 700 before I got tired, but
yeah,
I was doing and they were for everyone. Just you have your everyday normal people going to work. You have your essential workers. You have doctors. I even did some for some firefighters.
yeah,
Um,
wow,
so during the pandemic, it was a way to keep some cash in your pocket doing it. But as you said, I got burnt out with doing it.
yeah.
Like, okay, I'm over this. Don't want to do it no more. Stop. But ultimately, like I said, it's the new norm. It's not going nowhere for a while.
Oh yeah,
So I have a couple of questions
okay.
people are asking. First question is they want to know, how did you first get into fashion?
Well, Ooh, when I was young, I I like jerseys, and it was some reason. Oh Lord, this is I would take a pillowcase and I would cut, the neckline, the arm, and then I would find like a fabric to kind of hand sew a jersey number or something on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally would go in my mom's basement, and I would still, like, when she did laundry on Sundays or Saturdays, I would pick out what pieces I would steal for the week, and I would cut them up, and then I would hide them. So she would never know that I was doing this, and it just became like my little secret hobby at night. I would go in the basement while she's sleeping. I would just be down there hand stitching and cutting and making my own little clothes, and I would, little kid, try them on, and then afterwards I would just take everything and hide all the evidence, and literally did not know, which was shocking to me. Like, literally, probably a couple years ago, I just broke the news to her, and I'm like, did you not know that your sheets and your pillowcases were like coming up? She never knew. So that's how I originally got started into like clothing. And like I said, I just my seams will be inside out because I didn't know nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
But just got into it
I loved it.
and kind of grew. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But look where you're at now. So look where you started in the
Yeah.
basement, sneaking clothes from the laundry room. And look at you now.
I gotta pay my mama back.
Next question. Someone asks, who is who is your ideal number one person to dress?
Ooh, ideal.
She actually has two. She also is asking if you ever dressed any pop stars.
I've dressed a few of the like reality stars, but not anybody like above that yet. Not yet. The reality. Um, but if I could dress one person, when I really got into the glam side of things, I was real infatuated with the Supremes. I have a 60 vibes, and if I could dress anybody, it would probably be Diana Ross,
Right.
because kind of how I got into the glam of things. I would love that opportunity.
That's nice, Diana Ross. That's one of my, when I perform, I do some Motown. So I definitely can relate to that.
Motown takes me out. That's my favorite.
Oh, I love it. That's when I call myself getting out of that entertainment world right now. But if they call and be like, hey, we need the Supremes, you on board? I'm gonna be right there, like, yep, I'm right here. So it would be Diana Ross. So okay. And do you think that you would ever say open up your own boutique? Well, actually, I'll say a storefront. Do you see yourself having your own storefront?
Yeah, I would love to have a storefront with the showroom and conduct my business, within that facility, but not particularly a boutique or my own store. I kind of want to have my items made and pushed out into other department stores.
Okay, nice.
I work like day and night because I'm in my home office, and it's like I get up, I come in here, and it's like I don't know how to like take that break. I don't know how to break out from that. So, but yeah, I would love a showroom with the storefront, and I can take individual clients, or if Macy's want to come in and see the collection, I can entertain that. So that's definitely what I'm looking to do.
Okay. So with Macy's or one of those big chain stores, and you're talking about what you said is that you're open to doing the manufacturer. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
that's very, very good. I know that there are not, well, let me speak for Massachusetts. We have now just started to get some Black store owners. But as far as having Black store owners or Black boutiques that everything in their store is their collection is one thing that you do not see
yeah.
enough of, you know. And I had designed something because do you ever get this where someone is saying, I'm going to send you a picture, can you make me this? And then
Yeah.
they'll send you a picture of something that Remy Ma has on, right? And so they want you to make that same exact dress.
Yeah.
And then you try to explain to them, I'm a fashion designer, okay? I cannot make you that same exact dress. I could change it a little, I can make it similar, but I will not make the same exact dress. How do people take that when you have to explain that to them?
Well, I put it on my website. So before you even get to me, I'm letting you know that I'll take the pictures that you submit as inspiration. But if you like something to that extent, then you need to find that original designer, because I'm never going to, even when people send me work of other designers that I know, I feel some kind of way. I'm like, why not just go to that designer? Because I'm not about to be known as the copycat. And that's why a lot of times I don't post some of my prime clients, because I'm like, it's not really my design, it's what you kind of created. And a lot of people will be like, why you don't, I rather show what I create that I have full creative control over. But a lot of my clients do. That's what I was saying earlier, like, why come to me for something that's already out there? You're coming to me, you're going to pay the money to have it custom made. So I don't want to copy. I want to twist it up and do it my ways, so I agree. I don't go that route.
Right. For the next question, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Coming from playing basketball. Hello, sons. Go ahead. You can go through. So my next question is, well, not my question, but the next question that was asked is, how do you determine your prices? Which for me is a struggle. I really need to know the answer to that. That's probably my biggest struggle.
Well, that might be all of our struggle. I try to set a hourly rate to what I think I'm worth, and I try to say, for instance, if you want to say, hey, I'm worth $35 an hour, and I'm going to say that this dress is going to take 40 hours. I'm just throwing out numbers. Mm-hmm. And I try to include my labor, but not include that with the fabrics and the material that I'm going to need. And so I do offer, majority of my gowns or garments for custom made, everything is $750 and up. But I do allow you to pay 50% upfront to get started. And then once we do a fitting and you see that things are going in the right direction, then you have to pay that second half. And that must be paid prior to pickup. And so if there's any issues during pickup, you try it on and we'll get it right, we'll get it, fixed. But I just try to make sure that, and it's hard because a lot of times people hit me up and they're like, they just want a blouse. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, well, it's going to take me time to, I have to create the pattern, which is the worst. It's like getting the measurements right and all that. So that takes time and work. So I'm like, you sure you want to come to me for this small product? Because it's going to be pricey because it's custom made. Mm-hmm. So if you come to me and say, hey, I see something in your collection and I like it, but I would like it in a different material, it can be a little bit more affordable because I have the pattern already for that.
Okay.
But Yeah, I just try to set a rate that I'm worth. And just like a regular job, if you was working a regular job, what would be your pay? Because you're the boss. So you know, what's your pay? How many hours and how much time are you gonna put into this garment? And so that's what you charge. Then you add the fee for the fabrics and the material, you know, the threads, whatever you have to get for that.
So you all hear that? You got to make sure that you set those prices because you putting in that time, that energy, and that work into doing
Yeah.
it. And like I said, even with me, that's one of the questions that was asked myself, and I said that's the thing that I struggle with. I actually did a design. Well, it was two people. So I did a dress for Cardi B, and I did a dress for Remy Ma. And I remember just trying to give it to them because I just wanted them to wear it and put it on their Instagram,
Yeah.
and people get to know who ICandi is. And I will never forget, Remy said to me, she was like, "You never give your stuff for free. No one's gonna take you serious if you." Because afterwards, I was like, "Okay, well, you could just, I don't know, $50." And she said, "No one's ever gonna take you serious if
Yeah.
you do that." And I couldn't understand it. And I tried to explain it to her, and she shut me right down. Like, listen, don't say because you want me to wear it and stuff like that. No, if you want to be known, you have to set your rate for your work, for your time, your effort, your creativity. And from that point on, I've been trying to get better at, how much I charge. And prom season for me is the most stressful. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say no. I'm new. I could still be behind on someone else's, but if someone calls me like, "Oh my goodness, my daughter ordered a dress and it's just terrible. It's not what she ordered," then I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it." But I need to learn sometimes how to say no, or I need to learn when people say they can't afford it to say, "Okay, well, maybe I can help you next time." I never do that. I'm like, "Okay, well,
Yeah.
what do you have?"
You have to
No.
build a system. And I'm in a couple of designer groups, and that we all kind of come in there and give advice, like a sewing group. And so what we all talk about sometimes is we set a number a month. Like I'll do 10, 15 dresses, for this month. So once those slots are taken, they're gone.
Mm.
And then I offer a rush service. So if you call me and go, "Hey, I know it's last minute," I'm like, "Hey, I'll do it, but it's gonna be the fee plus a $350 rush fee." And so sometimes people won't take it, but
Mhm.
but it is stressful. It's like you be in them situations where the client is on the way and you're like, "Oh my God, I gotta hurry up and get this, completed." So you have to look at it like we can't help everybody. And there's a lot of people that want to go the cheap route and they want to go out there and buy the, $30 dress. And of
Mhm.
course, it's going to come back probably from China and it's not going to fit right. It's not going to look right. And now they're coming to you.
Mhm.
Um, I had a client like that, and I really was upset because she bought a dress from Macy's, and I don't do this. And she's like, "Can you glam this up for me?" So I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take this." She was like, "I want a tulle at the bottom, and I'll add some like details on the top." I did all the work. But like I told her, I wasn't taking the dress apart because she wasn't paying me that much. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna add the tulle to a waistband where she can just slide it on. She picked it up and she said, "This is not what I asked for." And I said, "Well, what you wanted and what I told you." So she disputed the charges and was able to get the money back. But I did the work. And so to me, now I look at it like, is this worth my time? Can I make this person happy? So when I'm doing my consultations with my clients, I'm looking at all that. Are you gonna be difficult? Are are you like very precise on a look that already exists? And are we gonna have, and so I'm looking at all that. And so I have to deny people sometimes because I know in the end, they're not gonna be happy. They're gonna want their money back. And so I'm gonna avoid the issue. But try to create a system for yourself. Like I'll do 15 dresses this month. And therefore, when you start promoting your prom, say, hey guys, I have 5 slots left for April. You know, start booking those slots now, and they just pay like even if it's like $100 fee to hold, and or a $50 fee. You kind of do that, and then you hold that slot for them. And once you're booked, you're booked.
Yeah, I think that this last year for prom, I kind of took a hit as well because we didn't know due to COVID,
Yeah.
they wasn't going to get to have prom. And I had already started making like 4 dresses. And I don't, here in Boston, we really don't have any fabric stores.
Yeah.
So
Oh man.
I usually travel to LA to go and get my fabric. And as you said, you got to look and pick and see what sticks out and stuff like that. I do not like to order online. Do you order your fabrics online, or do you actually like to go?
Yeah, I have to go in, I have to see it, I have to touch it, and we gotta have like it's like meeting like going on a date. You gotta have a connection. Like we gotta
That connection.
Yeah.
So do you is there a lot of fabric stores in Atlanta?
There's quite a few.
Travel.
There's
Okay.
quite a few here. And there's actually a large one called Fine Fabrics. It's like a warehouse. And I love it. I go in there and I'm there. I don't even realize, like I'll be in there for like 4 hours and I don't like, because it's so
Get lost.
Yeah. Well, you gotta come down here and I'll take you there.
Oh
But
yeah, we definitely have to connect because like I leave tomorrow to go to go down to LA for the same reason, but it's like I traveled all the way to LA, start making these dresses, and now there's no prom. So
yeah.
I feel bad because I don't want to take their money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing is everyone that gave me a deposit, there was no way I could give them their deposits back. But I definitely told them that it can go for any time that they want a dress, they can use that same deposit. But it messed a lot up, and I do have to come up, and I'm sure a lot of people that's listening to us right now that's probably struggling with the same thing is like, how do you balance being a great designer or becoming a great designer at the same time having people that tell you, oh, it's just too much, I can't afford it, or give you these sometimes sob stories, and sometimes they could be telling you the truth. Like, how do you really distinguish, or how do you make those calls of saying, okay, well, let me do this? I try to do a couple of, well, I narrowed it down because I was doing a lot of charity stuff. So now I narrow it down to one a year.
Okay.
So that I don't get, too burnt out or lose out on too much money. Mm-hmm.
It's a tough industry. Yeah, it comes with the customer service high. But it's like, I'm also in the hotel industry. And it's like sometimes people come in the hotel and, I don't have enough money and I want a room. But a lot of times I help somebody, it kind of blows up in my face. Mm-hmm. If I take a client who really can't afford it, it's like the ones who really can't afford it. Once you go into that, they have high expectations.
Yes.
The expectations are here, but the money is here. And so I find myself like, why did I do this? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people out there that want a nickel and dime. They want $1,000 dress, but they want to pay $50.
Yep.
Like I had a woman come to me and say, since you made my daughter prom dress, I would like for you to make me a dress. And she said, I want a top and I want a bottom. And I want to pay $75. And so I was like, $75? And you want a whole mermaid skirt and a top? She said, I already bought the fabric, so you don't have to worry about the fabric. And I'll pay you $75. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not making, that's 2 looks, like 2 pieces. Mm-hmm. She said, well, my seamstress said she'll do it. I said, well, then why are you coming to me? Like, take it to her. Like, I'm not worth $75 because I pour everything into my brand. Like, if you're my customer, I want to make sure that you're 100% happy. Have I had customers that weren't happy? No. But I gave them solutions. If I couldn't fix it, I gave them some money back, but I can't make everybody happy. But sometimes taking those lowball clients, it's a setup. And you can't go into like department stores and nickel and dime them about your story. So we have to work hard for what we're trying to do as business owners, and we don't have a corporation behind us. So you have to be vigilant in who you take in. And that's why I say it really helps to do a consultation with a client, because it's going to let you know a lot about them. Because they'll be like, no, I need this. I need to make sure when she walk in, she's looking like this. But your budget is not like that.
Exactly.
So you know what? I'm going to have to decline this because I don't think that I can live up to what you're looking for with that kind of budget. And so don't play yourself short. You know, sometimes God will speak to us and say, make this happen. And, you know, I'll listen, you know, you listen, but a lot of times you just have to be real careful because it just becomes a headache and you're in the middle of doing it and you're like, why did I take this?
Okay, nice. Definitely. It's been a pleasure for everyone that joined us. We've been talking to Atlanta's own Alex Holliman of Farrier Ball Couture. If you anywhere around the Charlotte area, my sister who should be watching, make sure you check out that show. I think I might have to fly out November 7th to Charlotte, North Carolina. Come and check him out. He also will be at Milan Fashion Week, February 27th and the 28th. And also he has the PBFW Black Excellence Awards, which he is going up for most innovative designer. So make sure everyone tune in and, you know, just send some prayers his way. Hopefully he can bring home that big win back to Atlanta for him. It's been such a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Holliman, and I am very serious when I say that I'm taking a trip to Atlanta. Make sure I got my machine, and I'm gonna sit there and take some classes with you because, like I said, you are truly, truly amazing. You're blessed. You're very, very talented, and I'm not just saying that. You are extremely talented, and I so appreciate you from even letting me interview you tonight.
Thank you. I really enjoyed you. Thank you so much for this opportunity, the platform. You guys are doing an amazing job, and I just, you know, I'm really grateful.
Thank you. And everyone, you've been watching Ayanna O'Brien with Wiseman TV. Make sure that you tune in for the next live show, which is coming up about 8:10. You don't want to miss that. That's coming up. If you have any questions, concerns, any people that you want to see us host, make sure that you send over the information over to Mr. Thomas Ruffin, and he will make sure that we get it out and get you guys what it is that you all like. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed evening. Bye-bye.